Hello, today we're going to have a look at viruses. So what is a virus? Well, a virus is a program, or sometimes it's just a piece of a code which is attached to a program. And what that will do is it will take a copy of itself. So either it will copy itself to a sensitive part of the system, or it may copy itself into numerous places throughout your PC. Now, the harm that it does to your computer is called its payload. It may be fairly benign, it may not be doing much harm at all, or it may have a big payload, in which case it is harming lots of different files or different part of your system, or it may destroy your computer completely, in which case it's a destructive payload. But obviously you want to avoid all three of those types of payloads. So how does the virus actually get into your system? Well, a number of different ways. One is called a Trojan horse. A Trojan horse isn't a virus itself, it isn't a type of virus, although it's sometimes called as such. Actually, it's a delivery method. Now, like the story of old, where you had a gift horse which contained the soldiers, the Trojan horse is a good program. So it may be one that you've downloaded, and it may be fine in its own right, but it has attached to it the virus. So it may be within the program or attached with the download. A virus which arrives immediately and starts doing damage you can manage. The sneakier one is a thing called a time bomb virus. And what that will do, that will wait, usually till a particular date or for a number of days. And then in effect your guard is down, you're thinking everything's fine, but it will then activate later on. And then the damage, it can be much greater because in effect you're not prepared for it. So let's have a look at a number of different types of viruses. The analogy I'm going to use here is your PC is like your home, let's say, and the viruses being a number of different types of kind of burglars or people that want to do harm to that house. A file virus. So this is the one that will secretly attach itself to another program. This is like a cat burglar. You don't actually know that it's there. You're not aware that there's a problem, but it's going around basically causing problems. The boot sector virus, and the boot sector virus, so this is someone hiding in the basement. So every time that you turn on the computer, boot up the computer, it'll then take a copy of itself again and again and again, and eventually you'll get to the point where you're sort of full of these burglars. But in effect what it is doing is taking a copy from the door, the boot sector, and moves it somewhere till it gets overwritten later on. So it's almost like it's changing the locks on your door or removing your keys and hiding them and putting them in a different place. Or in effect, it means you can't start up your computer. A multipartite virus is in effect one which has more than one attack. So you've got like your file virus and the boot sector virus, and obviously trying to deal with both those. You may think I've solved the problem, but actually there may be other ones. A macro virus, this is like a bad neighbour. So a macro is usually a very friendly, helpful little program which is attached to something like a spreadsheet. You may have opened up a spreadsheet and it said macros attached. Do you want to open these? So normally they're absolutely fine, but there may be a malicious one which is mean problems, and it can then do something nasty to your computer which you want to avoid. So you basically want to make sure that anything you open up that has a macro comes from a trusted source. Email virus. Okay, so this is the bad postal worker. So in effect an email, you click on that link which is attached to an email, and in effect you've sort of opened yourself up to attack that way. This is a sneaky one, a denial of service virus. So what this will do, and normally it's attacking a server rather than an individual kind of PC, but it will send a number of requests. This is like sending loads of delivery people to your front door, and you're spending your whole time, you can't get on with doing your normal sort of day because you're spending the whole time answering the door with the delivery person after delivery person after delivery person. So it really is kind of overwhelming the server because it's actually having to deal with all these requests for work. Okay, so those are the main different types of viruses. Let's just run through those again. We have the file virus, so something's attached, like a cat burglar attached to another program. The boot sector virus, which is attached to your booting up. Multipartite, which is the file virus, and the boot sector one combined. The macro, which is like the bad neighbour, which is attached to an innocent program. The email, which is like the bad postal worker, part of the existing program. And the denial service. Okay, we'll look at viruses. Thank you for listening.